British Virgin Islands is named after him. Did you know that Major W.H. Peebles retired to Barbados, where he died in 1955? Our focus today on Did You Know? Major W.H. Peebles and at the Peebles Bar. Did you know made possible compliments at the good folks of Quartz Dominica Limited. Up next, we're bringing you at the DBS Major Morning News.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: the new lawyer of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court to open with a procession by lawyers before a ceremony at the State House Conference Center this morning at 10 o'clock. St. Kitts Nevis introduces residency requirement for CBI program, and news from the international scene. Donald Trump says the U.S. may strike Iran as hundreds of protesters are killed by government security forces. Details of the morning news right after this.
Blue Water's posse identified. Somebody pass blue water. Somebody bring blue water. Somebody get blue water. And you ready now. When you're feeling hot, take a blue water's break. In the gym alone, take a blue water's break. In your school or home, take a blue water's break. When the bus run out, take a blue water's break. Party posse water. Working posse water. School children they water. Blue water's break. The fitness posse water. The office posse water. When your posse need one, take a blue water's break. Somebody pass blue water. Somebody bring blue water. Somebody get blue water. Take a blue water's break.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribbean. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribbean straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribbean. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribbean. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Major Morning News. The news this morning brought to listeners through the kind compliments of Fine Foods Inc., HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited, and Petro Caribbean. My name is Curtis Matthew. Here we go with our lead story. Dominica will this morning stage the official opening of the new lawyer of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. A procession to the State House Conference Center and the address by the Acting Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court are the main highlights for the opening of the new lawyer.
At that special sitting, the feature address will be delivered by Her Ladyship, the Honorable Madam Margaret Price Findlay, who is the Acting Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. The address will be delivered live from the State House Conference Room in Roseau in the Commonwealth of Dominica, and will be aired live to all the other member states and territories of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. Of course, you would know that the court serves 9 member states and territories, and they will all be tuned in to view this address live. When COVID hit, we sort of had we changed the way in which we did our ceremonial openings, where we usually had one sitting where we had speakers from each member state and territory. But now things have normalized. We thought this year, let's try to get back to the former way of the tradition. And we're happy that this is the first time since COVID that each island could have their individual court sit-ins. And of course, the Court of Appeal will be here in the Commonwealth of Dominica for this special sitting.
And that's the Chief Registrar of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Michelle John Feebles. The special sitting of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court is set for 10 o'clock this morning. And of course, you will see the procession taking place before they head to the conference room of the conference room of the State House this morning for 10 o'clock. Other news this morning, Dominica's Creole and Culture Ambassador Leroy Wadix-Charles has been recognized at the prestigious Haitian Music Awards. He was honored in recognition of his outstanding contribution to the promotion and advancement of Haitian music and culture across the Caribbean and internationally. The award celebrates Ambassador Charles's unwavering commitment to cultural development and his consistent efforts at building bridges between Haiti, Dominica, and the wider Creole world through music, media, and cultural exchange. In accepting the award over the weekend, Ambassador Charles expressed sincere gratitude to the Haitian music community, emphasizing that music remains one of the Caribbean's most powerful tools for unity, storytelling, and cultural preservation. He reaffirmed his dedication to fostering regional partnerships and promoting Creole culture as a living, evolving force on the global stage. The recognition marks a proud moment for Dominica and highlights the island's growing influence in regional cultural leadership. Well, we'll hear from the Ambassador, Leroy Wadix-Charles. We'll hear from him in another news bulletin. On a sad note, head of the DBS Creole Department, Kiwana Fontaine Wilson, remembers the late Avan as a passionate Creole broadcaster. Mr. Roye, who was a part-time Creole broadcaster on DBS Radio, passed in the U.S. at the weekend.
Today, I am very much saddened to hear of the passing of our former colleague at DBS Radio, Avan Roye, one of the most memorable Creole voices which helped shape DBS Radio over the years. I've had the privilege of working with Avan when I first joined DBS, and over the years, we shared many moments together. Well, although he was a part-timer, but he was always reliable in terms of helping. His voice, as I said, was the most memorable voice at DBS Radio. Very calm, and you could feel the love that he had for radio, the love that he had for Creole announcing. For that, we shall remember Avan, very passionate about what he did as a broadcaster. He was also a past teacher, and last time we spoke was a few years ago when he visited Dominica. We met on Experience Creole, and we had a very, very memorable conversation. He went back into time. He spoke about his years as a teacher. He spoke about his years as a broadcaster, and he was very passionate about all of it. Avan will forever be in our hearts. We would like to express our deepest condolences to his family and friends. On his passing, he will be deeply missed.
And that's the head of the Creole department at DBS Radio, Kewana Fontaine Wilson. Other news this morning, the Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams, says the opening and road parade for Mass Dominic 2026 met its objectives. She says the team at Discover Dominica Authority need to be commended for the manner in which the opening ceremony was executed on the streets of Roseau.
Oftentimes, I think their efforts under a lot of duress, it goes unnoticed. So I just want to begin by saying a big congratulations to the team for always putting in all the efforts and doing the best that they can. So far, as it relates to the opening parade, we try to do things a little bit differently in terms of adding a little decor on the streets and bringing in the full complements of Sanse. I think that worked very well. There's a lot of Sanse on the routes, and it's something that the DFC should intend on building upon as the years go by. I mean, the traditional aspect is what differentiates our carnival from other carnivals. We know that we have Calypso on the road. I think that hasn't happened for many, many years. So there is a Calypso truck. Based on what I'm hearing from the public and what we're seeing online, people are really, really excited to get a taste of what our village carnivals and what Carnival Monday and Tuesday is going to look like. And it shows that Dominica is here, we are present, that we have a unique cultural traditional thing, which is our carnival, and we are basically inviting and extending an invitation to the world to come and spend a week in Dominica, leading up to February 16th and 17th and even the 18th when we close off with Monday, Tuesday, and of course stay with Avan.
And that's the Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. Williams believes the participation of groups at the opening was exceptional.
I know that there's a lot more individuals as part of the parade. I'm talking about we have about 8 to 9 business floats. That's an increase from last year. We have a tremendous increase in the traditional showcasing, more specifically the Sensei. We invited Ban Akio from Guadeloupe, so that added flair to the parade. I think we have one of the football groups in the parade, so that is something we used to do. Last year we missed the Kaboué, and we have the Kaboué this year. So as it relates to the participation in the parade, and of course, I want to say again, we have Calypso. So as it relates to participation in the parade, we have lots more people participating in the parade, so that is great. We have a media from overseas who are also highlighting what we're doing there and going to take it back to their people via social media and other platforms. And we just hope that the interest that was built coming in from the launch of Dominica's Carnival, that it continues. I say that once we do not see negativity online when we do something, word of mouth is free marketing, and word of mouth is more important than people may think. But once the Dominicans and the masses who are viewing online are happy, we always anticipate that something tremendous is coming.
And that's the Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. Costume builder Dan Ligai has been recognized by Discover Dominica Authority for his contribution to the country's carnival celebration spanning 5 decades. The award ceremony was held at Pottersville on Saturday ahead of the parade in the streets of Roseau.
In 1951, Mr. Guy began his carnival journey as just 18 years old as part of the Carnival Development Committee under the late Albert Pee Wee Theodore. By age 21, he created his first full carnival costume for the Miss Dominica pageant, making the start of a lifelong commitment to design, organization, and service. As a founding member of the Carnival Organizing Committee, he played key roles in street deco, logistics, ticketing, and events coordination. Today, he continues to serve on the Carnival Road Parade Committee and remains known for producing award-winning costumes, floats, and stage props that have shaped Carnival across generations. On behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, the Discover Dominica Authority, and the Dominica Festivals Commission. We thank Dan Ligai for his lasting contribution to Dominica's Carnival.
And that's the chairman of the Dominica Festival Committee, Gerald Cools-Latig. Meantime, Mr. Guy said he was elated. His contribution to Carnival has been recognized.
Well, I'm totally grateful, and that shows that people are watching. I'm thankful for that, and we'll keep on looking and trying my best to do what I can to help. Well, I'd like to see more commitment. When you get into it, you have to stay in it. It's not a thing you can come this year and leave next year or say I'm not in that this year. It's a continuous commitment, because since I started, I never stop. The thing is, when you get people responding to what you do, they show appreciation, and you get that feeling that you have to be thankful for they being responsible, because the public is what brings us alive. We do the costumes, but we cannot decide what is the public that decide how they feel about it, if it's good, if it's not good, if you should continue, and so. I'm like a mentor now. I mentor the younger ones, and who I can, who need my help, I help. I still do a little thing, but I've been down for a year now. I was in the hospital for a year, so.
And that's the retired costume builder, Dan Ligai, recognized at the weekend. 3 participants will compete for the title of Carnival Princess 2026. The Carnival Princess Show, organized by the Rotaract Club of Roseau, will take place on Sunday, February 1 at Carnival City, Windsor Park Sports Stadium, forecourt, from 3 in the afternoon.
We are our 3 fabulous girls, and we call them our Fab Free. And they are contestant number 1, Chanel Benjamin from the Woodford Primary School. Contestant number 2, Ariana Challenger from the Paybush Primary School. And contestant number 3, Fanae Shillingford from the Bagatelle Primary School. So the show has 5 rounds initially, with the first round not being a judged round, which is the opening number, where you see all the girls on the stage together coming to let you know who they are. Then the next round will be their speech round, where they will deliver their speech in their school uniform. Then they will have their talent and their costume round, and then their party dress round.
And that's a member of the Rotaract Club of Roseau, Bianca Libla. Let's head into St. Kitts now. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis has announced 2 significant reforms to its Citizenship by Investment Program, CBI, aimed at strengthening security and attracting credible investors. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew unveiled the measures during a roundtable engagement with the press, confirming that the program will now include a residency requirement for investors and a system for collecting biometric data from potential citizens worldwide. These measures, he said, are part of a broader effort by the government to repair the reputation of the CBI program. Finally, this morning, the U.S. President Donald Trump has said he's considering very strong options in Iran as hundreds of protesters are killed by security forces since the late December. He says Iranian leaders have contacted the U.S. since they want to negotiate. The Iranian foreign minister said this morning his country does not seek war, but he's fully prepared for one if they are attacked by the United States. Well, very interesting developments coming from the United States and Iran. Well, that's a look at the DBS Morning News. Don't go away. The Sports Bulletin comes up shortly.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmet location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc., the biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribbean. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribbean straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribbean. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribbean. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean. Petro Caribbean.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from NBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with track and field news. The national sprinter Corel Etienne has earned her ticket for the 2026 Carifta Games as she set a new personal best in the 100-meter event at a schools meet in Jamaica on the weekend. The rising sprint star running for the Edwin Allen High School clocked 11.82 seconds to comfortably take first place in the finals of the girls' Class 2 event. Etienne will now represent Dominica in the 100 meters event at the Carifta Games, which are set for April in Grenada. Meantime, Aspira's athlete Jaria Luis also secured a spot on the Carifta team. The long jumper was the only qualifier at yesterday's second development meet organized by the Dominica Amateur Athletic Association at the Geneva playing field. Luis delivered one of the standout performances of the meet, soaring to 6.82 meters in the long jump. Westmore Rangers athlete Jamaica Teat, who has already qualified in the discus event, also had a great day yesterday as he threw 46.66 meters comfortably beyond the Carifta standard of 44.37 meters. So far, the three athletes to have qualified for the games are discus thrower Jermichael Teat, long jumper Jeria Luis, and sun sprinter Karel Etienne. Some football news now. Legends of the game, celebrities, fans, friends, and family members came out in their numbers Sunday to show support to former national under-15 football captain Chance Marshall as they all chipped in with the fundraising efforts to meet his medical expenses. Marshall is recovering from a vehicular accident which has left him temporarily paralyzed. The likes of Kenrick Solka Emmanuel, the former national captains, Wayne George and Shane Marshall, Euclid Boots Bertrand, along with entertainers Benji N2O and Tiki of TK International fame and Danger Dane were among the players who took to the field at the DFA Technical Center in the fundraising match last night. DBS Sports caught up with some of the legends after the game. Kenrick Solka Emmanuel was happy to be part of the event.
Well, feeling good. Yeah, feeling good, body. The most important thing is that we're doing it for chance. You check? It's things that would get me out of wherever I am. You check? Out of retirement. You check? So doing it for him. I know his father, you know what I mean? Uncle and I played together for a long while. So when they reached out to me, it was just fitting to just say, yes, we're playing for chance.
It means a lot to me to play today, especially for a younger player who, you know, such talent and have a future ahead of him. I'm unfortunate what happened to him, but it was definitely good being here on the field to support the cause towards chance. And I definitely came out. I took a chance for chance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good initiative. I just want more support for things like that, for more people to come out, you know, and just give back and help out they can, because Chance has made us proud how many times, not only in soccer but in cricket also. So when I saw it, I have to play. You see, I'm not a regular everyday footballer. I can play football, but I'm not a regular everyday footballer. We hope to see much more of this, and I am just begging for support for Chance. Give him a chance.
Well, I'm very pleased about it, you know. I mean, when Maggie called me and told me about the game, you know, I was, you know, kind of happy about it, you know. I tell him it's long, I was looking for something like that. But I'm very pleased, you know, about it. Well, I want to just say, you know, thank you to Maggie, you know, and maybe, I don't know who else helped him to really organize, and all the players that was there this afternoon, this evening, and to thank them for showing up for my nephew. I'm very pleased about it, and I looking forward to more like that. Sometimes it could be somebody else's child, you know, or another footballer from another team, you know, and we could do more like that in the future.
Shane Marshall, and before him, we heard from Kenrick Solka Emmanuel, Mr. Benji N2O, and Danger Dane. The scoreline in the end did not matter. What we will say is that some of the veterans may well be recalled for duties on the national team, as they clearly showed that they have not lost a step. There was also an exhibition match between the national under-20 and under-17 football teams. Meanwhile, Chance Marshall, who was in attendance, was happy for the support.
Well, it was a great turnout. I appreciate the support from everybody, you know, DBS Radio for promoting the events, and I just want to say thank you again. I've been so far enjoying the event, you know. Sitting down and watch would not be where I want to be, but it's good to see my guys and them putting in the work, you know, getting ready for the tournament, and yeah, just a good vibes, you know, to see them in action before they go.
You know, just give me your thoughts as to, you know, what it's like for you seeing the vets coming out all for with the cause.
Well, you know, it's a good vibe, you know, it's for a good cause, and I just appreciate them for making the effort to come out, because without them the event wouldn't be possible, and they're still making it a great show, you know, so I have to appreciate them for taking their time out and come and show their skills, even if they're not young again, you know.
Very pleasing for you to watch. Chance, let's talk about your recovery now, because you're here in the wheelchair and everything, but your spirits look very high. Let's talk about the road to recovery.
Well, so far I have small improvements, you know. I'm not where I want to be as yet, but from where I was to now, things getting better, so I just have to thank God for everything. And I just look forward to continue doing my recovery so I can get back to doing what I love.
And that's the former national youth footballer Chance Marshall. In more football news, the sports division secondary schools football 13 and under division will kick off today. There will also be a doubleheader at Newtown in game 1 at 2 o'clock. In the 13 and under, Castlebrooke Secondary School comes up against Pierre Charles Secondary School. And in game 2 in the under 17 division at 3 o'clock, Castlebrooke Secondary School will be up against St. Mary's Academy. Some cricket news now. 4 Dominican players have found favor with the Windward Island selectors and will form part of the Windward Island women's team for the 2026 West Indies Women's T20 tournament due to begin tomorrow in St. Vincent. Dominica's captain Anisha Fontaine, Abini Seja, Amia Gilbert, and Aldith Gasper are the 4 players who will represent Dominica on the Windward Islands women's team, while Jem Elwa has been named as a reserve player. The Windward Islands women's team is being captained by St. Lucia's Zeta James and Reed's Afi Fletcher, Holy Charles, Karena Noel, Chanel Mackey, Narissa Crafton, Ashleen Edwards, Selena Ross, Abini Seja, Anisha Fontaine, Aldith Gasper, Janile Glasgow, Amia Gilbert, and Jada Tyrell. The regional West Indies Women's Tournament will start Tuesday in St. Vincent. The Windwards will play Guyana in its opening encounter. Some basketball news. The Dr. Darrow Pitchless Sports Club Falcons are into the finals of the Neville Moose Pier Basketball Tournament as they took down the reigning DABA champions, the Peerbush Eagles, in the semi-final last night in Marigot. Falcons took the match 72-65. Kareem Daniel had 24. Ramal Carbon had 12 for the Falcons, while Shama Felicity had 25. Kaylan Paul 16 for the Eagles. Meantime, for the first time in 3 years of the competition, a team from Marigot has made it to the finals. This, as Marigot Sunrise blew past the BAA Sharks in the other semi-final, 75-34. Cody Hamlet had 28 points. Gmol Peltier, 25 for the Sunrise team, while Christian Scotland scored 11 and Kyle Scotland 10 for the Sharks. Minister of State with responsibility for sports, Senator Oscar George, says the Dubla playing field, the Point Michel playing field, and Castlebrooke playing field have all been earmarked for significant upgrades this year. George says the move is in keeping with government's objectives of providing the necessary infrastructure needed for sports development. Dubla playing field is undergoing a major rehabilitation of the lights, while Point Michel and Castlebrooke will receive some upgrades.
The government of Dominica has commenced works at a number of playing facilities which we believe will help football in the long run. And one of those facilities is the Point Michel playing field. And I believe that Point Michel playing field has tremendous potential as it relates to national premier football. So the playing field is being expanded and improved to cater for larger dimensions. And of course, we will expect to see Premier League football coming at Point Michel. And of course, there has been a constant cry for the Dubla playing field to improve the quality of lighting at the Dubla playing field. And again, as of yesterday, the government started works to improve the lights at the Dubla playing field. I believe that that will serve better for night games at the Dubla playing field. And of course, at Castlebrooke, I believe, is another playing field that's very important for football. Very, very important for football. And I can see now that the cabinet has approved $1.2 million to be spent on Castlebrooke's playing field to ensure that we can have a proper playing surface, lighting, improved facility. And of course, this will be financed by the government in collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank. So I'm saying this to say that we continue as a government to play our part in assisting football. And I can speak to many other initiatives like the synthetic track, which we decided to have a football surface inside of the synthetic track. And of course, another football field will be done at the grammar school site.
And that's the Minister of State with responsibility for sports, Senator Oscar George. Finally this morning, let's go back to some cricket news. The West Indies batsman Joel Andrew got a half century, but the West Indies under-19's first World Cup warm-up match with Ireland ended in a no-result Saturday. The Windies were in some trouble at 117 for 5, but managed to reach 246 in 42.4 overs. Joel Andrew top scored with 81. Jonathan Van Lang added 28. Ireland were unable to bat due to the inclement weather. The West Indies' next practice match will be Tuesday against Japan. Well, that too will end DBS Morning News and Sports. You want to join DBS at 11 o'clock this morning for a news update on behalf of the News and Sports departments and our link person, Hazari Williams. Let's remind you, DBS Radio is where you want to be for the rest of the day. My name is Curtis Matthew. Good morning.
Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood